Welcome to Centered, a show to keep you grounded in an increasingly chaotic world. My name is Justin X, and I will be the moderator of today's debate. Today, we will be discussing the topic of universal basic income, but we will mainly be referring to it as UBI. Joining me is Ben S. and Kate W. However, we're doing something a bit different today. Instead of representing the liberal or conservative sides to the issue, Kate and Ben will simply be arguing for or against the topic at hand. Ben S. will be representing the side in favor of universal basic income, while Kate W. will represent the side against universal basic income. Let's start with Ben. Could you explain what universal basic income is and why it's a good idea?
So, universal basic income is the practice of a government distributing a certain amount of money consistently every month, every week, every quarter, etc., in order to stimulate the economy and prevent homelessness and try to keep things moving. This is a great idea because, like I just said, we can help prevent super deep poverty and we can encourage people to spend money locally, which will stimulate the economy.
Alright, Kate, why do you think universal basic income is a bad idea?
Universal basic income is a bad idea because it's so expensive. If we gave every person in America $1,000 a month, that would cost $2.5 trillion a year. And that's 3/4 of the 2018 revenue. And so the counter argument would be that UBI would replace programs like TANF, which is Temporary Assistance to Needy Families, and therefore the country would only be paying for one program, UBI. However, disbanding the existing programs, again like TANF, would only cover 1/5 of the cost of UBI. And it would be a lot less helpful to people that needed the now cut programs to survive, like TANF.
While universal basic income, or specifically, you gave an example of what former Democratic presidential nominee Andrew Yang proposed of giving $1,000 to every American citizen, every adult American citizen every month. Indeed, that will be costly, but by giving money, you are encouraging spending. And now this is money that is circulating through the system. So when people spend more, they also spend more on taxes. They get taxed more. So the money kind of cycles through.
So I understand what you mean about UBI cycling through, but UBI would be giving money to everyone, including people who don't need money, like millionaires and even billionaires. If they would be getting $1,000 a month, that money could be better spent on people who would really need it, like homeless children or the elderly or disabled people.
While universal basic income does apply to every adult citizen, regardless of social status or net worth, it still means everyone over the age of 18. Everyone. So, everyone with disabilities, everyone who's impoverished. And instead of putting people into these classes where, okay, this person will get this certain amount of money from welfare or UBI every month, or this person gets none because they're already rich. That takes a lot of time and energy that we really don't have.
Yes, I agree, which is why we should keep the current systems in place. Things like welfare or temporary assistance to needy families. Those that way we wouldn't have to spend all of this time dividing people up into classes and we would just continue the systems in place.
The current welfare system requires a long and lengthy application process through countless criminal record screenings, and you basically got to have a spotless record to qualify for this, not just be impoverished or not just be homeless. So, with universal basic income, it's no questions asked. You get it and you're safe and you know you're secure because now you have this safety net that will keep you from falling farther.
Kate, many places around the world have implemented trials of UBI. Local businesses benefited greatly from those trials. If this is having such a positive impact on their community, why is UBI not ideal?
Well, you have to weigh what's more important, helping a few local businesses or saving the country from spending $2.5 trillion a year. Look, UBI is not a silver bullet that's going to solve every little economic problem. We can't pretend like UBI is the solution to everything.
Ben, the who, what, when, where, why, and hows of UBI vary wildly. Do you think this is a problem? What's the solution?
So, yes, there are many variations of universal basic income, but I think the main topic of our discussion has been the American version, which is not a real thing yet. It is only a idea. I don't think it is that big of an issue because every country is in a different place right now. And while you look at Korea, Korea's example, their economy is very foreign to America's. So you can't really compare the systems on a specific level.
Alright, that was an awesome debate. After spending a week researching the topic of universal basic income, how has your perspective changed? Are there things that you want to mention?
I had never really given much thought to universal basic income just because it seemed like a, far out, crazy liberal communist dream. But upon further investigation, it is vital for people to have, the security, and it can actually really help stimulate an economy. Like Korea, the Gyeonggi province has had a lot of success economic wise through coronavirus because of their Gyeonggi Pay system, their UBI system.
Yeah, when I was researching that province in South Korea, I also found that it was really interesting that the local economy and that small businesses improved, or they had 45% more sales. That really blew me away. And it shows UBI wouldn't just help, you know, each person, but it would help the economy as a whole and small businesses. And when this topic was first brought up, I didn't know about it, and I thought, wow, free money, that sounds amazing. And the more I researched, the more I found that there are some issues with the idea, but that it's not impractical, that it can happen. And I was reluctant to bring up a couple of points because I knew that there were great opportunities to rebuttal. For example, things like inflation. I think that both sides do have good points and do have good arguments, and I do believe that it would be possible to have a UBI here in America soon, and I think that would be a good thing if we did.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Censored. Everyone in the team worked hard for this to be successful, and it couldn't be without you, our listener. Our website links to all of the sources we used in preparation for today's debate. That being said, this show isn't here to prove one side right or wrong, but instead to start a discussion acknowledging both sides' perspectives. Feel free to go and take a listen to last week's episode, where we debate over climate change legislation, and keep an eye out for our next episode, coming out on November 20th. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you again.